Ari said, you always make it about yourself. And Tom, I couldn't understand I don't know what that sentence means. Like,
really?
I really don't. And I don't know how I do it. And I said it to Leanne in Paris and I said, do I make things about myself? And she goes, yeah. And I said, but doesn't everyone? And she goes, no. And I was like, but wait, when do I do it? And she goes, you're doing it right now.
Bert Kreischer's never-ending downfall seems to be in full force as of late, because in his most recent episode of Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura, he still seems to be completely shocked that Ari Shaffir and Joe Rogan have distanced themselves from him because of his horrible habit of always wanting to be the center of attention. So basically the entire back end of this episode was kind of an intervention for Bert, and even though Tom tried to explain to him in the most simple way possible that Ari and Joe are in fact correct, that he does indeed have a glaring issue with needing to be the main focus of any conversation, Bert still seems to be in deep denial that he has a problem. And according to Bert, people just don't understand him.
No one gets me. Like, no one understands me. I don't even understand myself.
Well,
I had like a moment where I said to Leanne, I was like, am I a narcissist? I said this in Paris, and she was like, no, you're not a narcissist. I go, would a narcissist know it though? Like, does a narcissist go like, no, I'm not a fucking narcissist? Or they go, yeah, I'm a narcissist. It's wild.
That's an actually interesting question.
So in order to help Bert find out what's really wrong with him, the two guys start researching personality disorders that Bert might have similarities to. And listen, I've never claimed to be a psychologist, but what Tom describes next seems to be exactly what Bert has.
How about histrionic personality disorder, HPD? Do you think maybe you have this?
What's that?
Well, here's the symptoms. Attention seeking, being uncomfortable.
Okay, hold on. Go slow.
Okay. Being uncomfortable when not the center of attention and acting out to get it.
Everyone shut the fuck up, okay? Okay, I might have that. Keep going.
Okay. Dramatic behavior, being overly emotional, dramatic, or expressive.
Okay. All right, keep going. I got that.
Being overly concerned with physical appearance and using it to draw attention.
Oh, do you mean like taking pictures of my and posting it on Instagram? Yeah.
Okay. Being overly sensitive to criticism or disapproval.
Come on. You know I got that.
Having a low tolerance for frustration or delayed gratification.
Yes, I got that. I'm drinking right now because I'm frustrated. And
HPD is often coexistent with other mental conditions like anxiety.
I got that.
But instead of ending it there and realizing that, oh yeah, I do have this issue, Bert just seems to think that it's natural for comedians to be that way. And he admits that he simply cannot comprehend how other comedians like Tom Segura and Ari Shaffir have a desire to be the center of attention while they perform stand-up comedy, but when they go off stage, they're able to flick that switch off.
And I like being on stage. I do like being the center of attention, but I understand the person like yourself. You don't like being the center of attention, but you have a draw to get on stage. So
I don't like being the center of attention off stage. I do like being the center of attention on stage.
But okay, so how can you? I would think it would go hand in hand. That if you want to be the center of attention, then why? What? Like I can't wrap my head around that because I think my whole thing is based around like being on stage and being on stage, like always being on stage, always being having.
But that's the difference. I have a separation for it.
It's so interesting to me because I can't see the juxtaposition, you know?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just when performing.
But without even taking a breath to think about what Tom said, Bert immediately jumps into a story about him while he was in France, where he found it upsetting that no one in France was recognizing him on the streets as they would in the United States. And what happens after is perhaps the biggest indicator that Bert will, in fact, never change from the loud, annoying egomaniac that he is today.
Like it was kind of interesting, and this is going to sound whatever it's going to sound like. It is truth. Is I got recognized like maybe 4 times in France. I saw guys like in the States. If I see a guy, I go, that guy's going to recognize me. Like I can see that there's a body type, clothing type where you go, this guy's going to recognize me.
Yeah.
And I would see the type of guy that should recognize me not recognize me.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like caught me off guard.
Yeah.
The first day I'd be like, oh, fucking big guy in shorts in cold weather with a fucking hoodie on, beard.
He's about to say something.
He's about to say, oh, the machine.
Yeah.
And never quit drinking. And he just walked right by me. And I was like, wait, did you want to? I'd walk by him a second time and be like, you sure?
You really do. I don't know if I've ever met anybody who likes it as much as you. You really like it.
And you know, I think there's a subset of people that find that shameful. They're like, that's kind of gross. But
Right.
I can't wrap my head around the fact that it's not gross. That I can't wrap my head around the fact that people would see that as gross. I go, yeah, but I got on stage. Like, you saw me that I got on stage. You saw that I wanted you to pay attention to me there. You know,
So either Bert's in complete denial that he constantly craves to be the main attraction of the zoo, or he's just a complete idiot. But now that I say that, I realize that it's probably a combination of both. Because the podcast then shifts to him reflecting on his podcast meltdown with Ari Shaffir, where, if you don't remember, happened after Ari told Bert that Joe Rogan ended their JRE series together, Sober October, after he grew too tired of Bert being Bert.
How do you get to be Joe, though?
Yeah, how are you going to?
Because Joe, what Joe
here's
does
my-
that
here-
you don't have the capacity to do is not
listen.
make it all about himself.
hold on. F- off. Hold on. There's a clip. No, hold on.
That's a clip
Fuck
of
you.
you.
F- you.
There's got to be a clip out there of you not interrupting.
No.
Fine. Look that up.
I'm not interrupting. I'm having a fucking conversation.
Yeah, okay.
That's how conversations fucking work.
Agreed.
it's
Yeah.
true.
And sometimes I'll say, if you said the dot, 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 and then I go, God, that's crazy. I would never be able to do that. And then, because Joe's done that, he goes, don't make it about you. I go, but that's how life works. I think of things and I go, that's amazing. I could never run 25 miles.
Yeah.
You know, like I could never run 50 miles.
So after the whole Ari thing, according to Bert, he finally said enough's enough and had a serious conversation with his wife about his need to be the center of the room. And after she bluntly tells him that he has that exact problem, he still remains in complete shock and denial.
When people are like
Sounds like you're
Ari-
coming to terms with it.
Ari said, you always make it about yourself. And Tom, I couldn't understand I don't know what that sentence means. Like,
Really?
I really don't, and I don't know that how I do it. And I said it to Leanne in Paris. We were having, and I said, "Do I make things about myself?" She goes, "Yeah." And I said, "But doesn't everyone?" And she goes, "No." And I was like, "But wait, when do I do it?" She goes, "You're doing it right now." She was like, "We're at dinner, and you're saying, do you make things about? You're making this about yourself?" And I was like, "Wait, but I'm so confused." I actually was gonna, because Joe said it to me before.
Yeah.
Joe said it to me before on a podcast. Ari said it to me the other day. So I was like, in my head, I was like, I wonder if they've talked about it behind my back. And I was like, I might ask my friends to tell me when I'm doing it. Because if it bothers people, I want to stop.
Oh, it bothers people, but it's but you really don't know what that means. Like, what you don't understand what they're saying.
I don't know what that means. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
It means that like somebody is saying, making an observation, telling a story, and then that what you do instinctively is go, here's what happened to me one time. I don't know.
But I consider that talking.
I know you do.
Do people not do that?
Sometimes.
I mean, when your own wife tells you in layman's terms that everyone's right and that you're very annoying to be around, and you still don't understand that you're the problem, all hope is probably lost. And you guys have to remember that this isn't just a new thing that Bert's hearing. As he mentioned in that previous clip, even Joe told him that he always craves to be the focus of the room on Sober October.
Bruce Willis has a neurological condition.
Yes.
I
He's
forget.
not doing well.
I forget what it's called.
Yes.
It's called aphasia. I think I might have
Yeah,
it.
you're right. You're right.
You,
It's a
I
thing.
talk about it
you just bring
nonstop.
it back to yourself.
Of course.
We're just here talking about.
I can't look at a post and not think about me.
Like he said, he says everything cool.
Yeah. Wait, try to
goes-
guess what I'm
Shut
thinking.
the fuck up, Bert. Jesus Christ.
No,
Bert.
I know where this is going.
Let him talk.
He goes, let me get a flick with you.
Writing?
You just embrace this aspect of yourself. It seems you don't like it. It makes you angry when it comes out. You get upset at yourself, but yet you also embrace it.
It's so gross, though. It's so gross.
fascinating.
We're
It's
taking
like
over.
you're playing tic-tac-toe against yourself.
I think you guys approach things very differently.
We do, and I think I drive you fucking nuts.
No,
Okay,
you
here's-
don't.
I
Sometimes.
have to.
think-
I have to. I know I
think-
drive
I'm
you.
So yeah, the fact that he refuses to acknowledge that he has an issue after all these years of being a jackass just points to him never changing. But hey, I mean, at least Tom's trying, and we should at least give him some credit for doing that in this podcast.
Well, I think awareness is a big first step.
Like all I do is think of how to perpetuate a conversation, like how to keep it going.
Yeah, that makes
So I'm-
sense. It does
It's
sound
almost like
you.
keeping a balloon in the air.
Yeah, that sounds like you.
Yeah. So I'm changing. I'm pulling over a new leaf.
Nah.
You'll be shocked.
Okay.
Be shocked.
I'll be shocked.
I think you're going to be blown away by the new Bert.
You think so?
So even though Bert appears to be getting help for his annoying habit of constantly wanting to be the one in the limelight, it's pretty clear that he's made little to no effort in actually accepting that he has an issue. And these recent events have instead placed him in Tom's words, a manic episode. Because Bert goes on to frantically tell Tom how he's just begun to read all the hate comments he gets online, which to anyone in their right mind sounds like a horrible idea for someone in Bert's current state of mind.
I'll tell you what. I'm going back into my comments. I'm going to start reading comments again.
That's great.
That's how bad I've been on the internet.
So you're going to start diving in on that now.
Yeah, I just started I stopped reading comments because I was afraid I'd see a bad one, and then I was like, I see bad ones anyway. Like I don't even need to be on the internet and I'll see a bad one.
How does that happen?
I go to the fucking. This happened the other day. Not the other day. It was actually a while ago. But I go to this the heart button. And I go to hit the heart to see, if like anything. And one of the comments was a negative comment. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm not even in the comments. So then I was like, fuck it, I'm reading comments again. I'm going back to comments. I'm getting back on the internet full blown. I'm done, man. I'm done. I want the quickening. And I want it over now. I want to be brainwashed.
This
I
sounds
want
like
to be
a manic episode.
The Chinese can have my brain. I'll do whatever they want.
What?
Just give me my TikTok.
Okay.
But one thing Bert did mention in this episode is that he's actively going to therapy, which I have to say is pretty admirable for a guy like Bert to do. And it's honestly the best route to go down in his current condition. But with that being said, that pretty much wraps up the video for today, guys. By no means, though, is the Bert Kreischer saga over. So if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think of this whole thing. And as always, thank you for watching.